All right, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and as part of the Rankin Technical College AWD 1000 Web Development Technologies course, I've been creating a series of video presentations based on the Mozilla Developer Network Learn Web Development series. I'm currently in JavaScript, the JavaScript portion, and we're talking about JavaScript building blocks and building our own functions. Now, one thing I've noticed as I've been going through here is I've been using my own examples and not theirs. So I've got to do a better job of jumping back into their examples because, again, I've mentioned this before, I'm teaching JavaScript as more of a programming language, more of a generic programming language, and in here they're teaching it more as a web programming language, and they're probably doing a better job than I am. But that said, I am going to kind of break away because there's a couple things I wanted to do in this lesson. First, I wanted to go in to the guessing game example that they had, which was right here. All that code is right there. And I wanted to see if first I could grab that code that we're currently calling check guess in here. So I want to see if I can grab all of this code, every bit of it. I don't know if this will work or not, so I'm just trying it right in front of you. Control X, and let's, in here, not recreating it exactly, but let's see. All right, and I'm going to call this I'll put it in my JS directory, and there's nothing in there right now. So I'm going to call this guess.js. Maybe I do have a guessing game in there already. I don't know. I do. All right. I'm not sure what's in there, so I'm just going to call this guess.js. Okay, so there it is. Now I'm going to go back to here, and where I've got this, I'm going to say here script source equals js/guess.js. And I'm just bringing that right into here. Now, I'm not even sure if this is going to still work, so let's try it. If it doesn't, well, we'll see where we go from there. So this was the JavaScript examples guessing game index. All right, out of range, attempted value. Try again, and I'm not worried about it now. So let's come in here, 45. Wrong, it was too high. 22, too high. 11, too high. 2, too low. 6, too low. 9, oops. 9, too high. 7, too low, must be 8. 8. All right, I got it. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guesses. That's fine. It just, remember, this is their example, so it does look like it's working. All right, new game. Good, that looks like it's working. So let's see if we can take the code in here and break it down into separate functions. All right, so here we've got let random number equal math.floor, etc. I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to call this generate random number. All right, and then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to create, I've got my reset games. I already have some routines in here, but I'm going to come down here and I'm going to put in function generate random number, and it's going to be a very simple one-line function. It's going to return this. So now I'm generating the random number, and I can call it there. And I think, didn't we call it down on the bottom too? Thought we called it in another place as well. Game over. right here. Now, as I'm doing this, the best thing that I can possibly do is to write that, refresh, and see if it's still working. Looks like it is. And that's good. That's exactly what I want to have happen in here. So I'm starting to take this big function, big routine, and break it down into a bunch of smaller routines. All right. So this was check yes. So if it's equal to 1, yeah, previous guesses, etc. Yeah, let's see. This was the non-numeric guess. I think I added that, and I added this. So this is a hybrid of their program and my program. So here we'll call this check valid guess. All right. And we got user guess. Was that defined in here? Yes, it was. So we'll need to pass user guess in. And now I should be able to grab all of this code that's right here. And it should now go into its own routine. So check yes, and we needed user guess. All right, so I've now got this. Now, as always, save it, run it again, and see if I broke anything. Whoops. All right, so, well, doesn't like something. You can already see that. All right. This is what happens when you attempt to optimize code like this. When you take something that existed and you try to, for lack of better words, make it better. So we call this, we went down here, it was check valid guess. I don't think that's what I call this. That's what it should have been called, check valid guess. I called it check guess. See that? So let's call this check guess. Now let's see if it works or doesn't work, and it still may not. Still not working. Well, then we can go in here and we can come in and inspect, and let's go into our console and see, not showing us any errors. All right, so there's nothing supposedly wrong in here. So check guess, user guess, check guess, user guess. If the user guess equals the random number, well, where was random number defined? That was defined here. And that should be global. Guess field.value, guess count. Where was guess count defined? Right there, let guess count equal 1. So that also we don't have to pass, so that's good. You know what, this is wrong. This was check guess is what we call there. So we can't call it check guess again, so we'll call this valid guess, and we'll pass in the user's guess, and this will become valid guess. All right. Was using the same name twice in here, which of course is never going to work. This is already looking better, so let's see. 50, too low. 75, too low. 98, too high. 78, too high. 75 might have been too low, or too high as well. 66 is too high. 55 is too high. 52 is too low. So it's either 53 or 54. So that's working. All right, so the good news is what we were able to do then is to take out that functionality that just handled the valid guess and put it in its own routine. Well, that's good. Now check guess is shrinking. All right, so here, if it was, we could call this check for non-numeric and check for out of range. Could do that as well. All right, but pretty much we've done a pretty good job in here now of breaking this down. Because now this is our check guess, which is calling valid guess. All right, which is handling the valid guesses. Game over is just doing a game over, etc. That isn't too bad. Now let's do one other thing in here. I'm at 12 minutes, so I think I'll have enough time. So I've now optimized this one a little bit. I'm not even saying I made it better. All right. I think, is this the one? This is the one I believe that I wrote. Okay, good. So I'm going to try to do the same thing here. In fact, let's grab all of it, paste it in here, and I'm going to save it, and I'll save it right to the desktop, and I'm going to call it JPS GG for guessing game optimized .html. All right. Now again, I want to take out from here all of the JavaScript. So I'm going to say source equal GG gg.js. I'm going to throw all this stuff into GG in just a second. I need my ending script tag, of course. So let's grab all of this, every bit of it. You'll notice now we basically have almost no HTML in here, but we're taking our JavaScript out of here, which is a good idea. Shouldn't have it in with our HTML. So let me, all right, so, whoops, I don't know what I did there. I do know what I did, unfortunately. All right, so end our body, onload on its own line, there. All right, now we've got this. So I'm going to take this. Why does it keep doing that? There we go. And I'm going to save this again right out here. And I said I was going to call it, let's just call it gg.js. So gg.js. Okay. All right. So there's that. And this is going to have to be, yeah, that's the onload. But we'll need our script tag in here. Source equals gg.js. And in our script tag. Okay, now let's go into our GG file and see if we can. So there's our start new game. There's our play the game. All right, it's already somewhat optimized, but this is start new game. All right, Well, when we start the new game, what should we do? We want a welcome message, and we want to set our variables. Would you agree with that? All right. So let's try to even simplify this more. Show welcome message. And we'll also say initialize variables. Okay, so this becomes real simple. What do we call this? Sorry. Show welcome message. That simply becomes this, where we've got our alert in there. Okay, well, that's a little nicer. All right, so that's what this is doing. And initialize variables, that now I can grab all of this, and this becomes function initialize variables. All right. So now this basically is our main function, and it's showing a welcome message. It's initializing our variables, and it's saying as long as this variable is set to false, play the game, and then it's calling start new game. That's actually pretty good. Show welcome message is just showing the welcome message. Initialize variables is just initializing the variables. Play the game. Well, what can we do in here? Anything? I don't know. Let's see. Probably could tear this stuff out. I like it in there, to be honest with you, because it is playing the game. Adding one to it. We could do the same kind of thing we did before, in that I can grab all of this code that's right here now. All right, and I can copy it to the clipboard. And now I can call we'll call it valid guess status. And I'll put in here function valid guess status. And we'll paste that in. Now, is there anything we need to pass into this? Well, guess is the actual guess variable itself guess. That's in play the game. So I've got to pass that into here. So that's the guess. Random number is being set outside of here, so that's good. So I don't have to pass that in because it's already global. Game over is global. This should actually still work. Let's see. So this is JPS GG optimized. So let's see if we still have a game in here that works. There it is. Welcome, you're starting a new game. Put in a number 50. Well, didn't like it. Let's see if I have an error if we look in here. Guess is not defined. All right, guess is not defined in a bunch of places. In line 76, 68, 19. All right, so let's look. 76, 68, 19. We didn't pass guess in here. 68, guess, well, it was defined right here. So that should be now okay. And 19, play the game. Let's see if that fixed it. I'm not sure if it will or not. $50, too low. $60, too low. $70, that's 3, so that's 3 guesses, too high. $65, that's 4 guesses. $62, and 5 guesses. And it should start a new game. Okay, so what I just showed you, okay, and I'm way over on time already, but was how we can optimize functions. That was the idea behind this. So with a build your own function, we'll look at their example in here next. Okay, I'll jump back and start doing a better job of going through what they go through in the actual in our actual text or whatever you call this here.